Hello, my dear friends. Interesting one today. There's a guy in America, and his name's Sean Graham, and he has set himself the interesting task of trying to review all of my solo and collaborations and the church, I believe, on YouTube.
You are watching The Steve Kilbey Show with Sean Graham.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Steve Kilbey Show. I'm your host, Sean, and we're in the 80s with the church. Thanks to Rob Ho Movies 12. I've got a bunch of 80s albums put on this, as you can see. So let's see what we're going to get. The wheel was giving me issues back there, so we're going to just spin it from here. I'll move it back in a second. Seance. Alright, we got Seance. I just realized I forgot to take out Skins and Heart off, so good thing I didn't do that. So Seance today, alright. That sounds good, Seance. So we're in the 80s. Thanks to Rob Home Movies 12, one of our frequent viewers. Which, by the way, Rob Home Movies 12, if you would like a Steve Kilbey Show button with Steve's face on it, you can hit up this email address here. Ding! Or watch a couple videos ago, and we can get you one in the mail if you're based in the States anyway. We can send it for free, no problem in the States. Anybody who wants one, not just Rob Home Movies 12. Thank you for watching, everybody. He suggested going back to do the 80s church output last episode. I was going to say last week. It was only a couple days ago. We did have Skins and Heart. So the last episode, we did that from 1981. Today we're going to do Seance. So let me find that. Seance, where you at? So Seance, I don't have on CD. There was like a lot of in the early 2000s, the church reissued, well, they didn't themselves, but a company reissued a bunch of their albums on CD with some bonus tracks, and I think a lot of that stuff is very expensive. I've noticed, you're looking at like $65, $75 US dollars to buy a CD with a couple bonus tracks. You can stream all that, obviously. I would love to have them, but I do not. They have, however, been reissuing some of their stuff on vinyl as well. So I went ahead and picked up Seance recently on vinyl, and we'll get into this in a second, but it's just so you guys can see it. It's quite beautiful. It's a beautiful pink reissue vinyl, which is lovely. So there's that, and just show it all to you. Might as well here. We got the little liner notes there, of course. You got the guys. This is the band. This is the church band everybody seems to love. You got Steve, you got Peter, you got Marty, and you got Richard Plug, of course. Thanks to Filthy for the Telecaster and the photographer Kim Sanderman. So I really like just the design of this album is really wonderful. I like all of that. You got the notes, the lyrics. You got the album itself here, which I'll pull out and show one more time here. I love this cover. Beautiful. Love this photo of all the guys, track listings and whatnot. I'll talk about something else, but I'll do it after, I guess. So the Seance came out in 1983. I think it came out in June of 1983. You got the band, the lineup that a lot of people kind of love because they worked on all these next few records together, starting just after the beginning of the band. Anyway, Seance came out in 1983. It was recorded again at Studio 301 in Sydney. I think a lot of fans really like the songs on this album. There's an issue that I know Steve Kilbey talks about in his book that I know fans don't like. Also, there's this reverb effect that was added to the drums that make it sound very heavy, very attacking, a lot like very repetitive and noisy. That's Nick Launey who did that. I believe it was his call, the producer on this album. I think was recommended to them. I can't remember. Could have refreshed by looking at his books. I think he talks about it, but they basically they might have been paired with him or chose to go with him because people recommended him. And he had worked with a ton of people, right? Nick Cave, he had worked with The Birthday Party, Public Image Limited. He worked with a bunch of different bands, right? Midnight Oil. So I think he came highly recommended, and he really liked this reverb effect that put on the songs on this album. I don't find it too distracting. I understand how somebody could. It's definitely a different sound, right? Like of Skins and Heart, and then, the Blurred Crusade, and then into Seance, and then after this, right, with Heyday. Like, none of those other three albums sound like this one. It's got this. It's very noticeable, but it doesn't really bother me because some of the songs to me are just so strong, right? So I think it's really good regardless of that, or in spite of that. So, these dudes are cooking right now. Steve's writing some great lyrics. He's kind of on fire, catching up with his his 2,000 songs that he's going to be writing eventually, right? He's just, the output is really good. It's very strong right now. The band sounds really tight. Like they've been playing a couple records together, touring a little bit together. So I think there is not really a bad song on this, but I probably say that a lot. Track One Fly is good. I think, to be honest, for me, it was a sleeper hit because when I originally listened to this album, I had never heard this song. The second song on here, One Day, I love so much. I think One Day is like pop perfection. It really is. It's so, so good. And just something about it I just really like. I can listen to it over and over again. The song Electric, I love. It's No Reason, I think, was a single, if I remember right. I know it was a single, and I'll show you why I know it was a single. And I like that song a lot. Travel by Thought is a really interesting song. I feel like I saw some people talking about it online, but Travel by Thought I like because it kind of goes into this trippier sort of atmosphere, this sort of like psychedelic thing that the church kind of sort of are known for, I think by their fans anyway. It has those psychedelic elements, that sort of, trippy vibe that I really like when they go there. It feels like a kind of nice middle point. I don't think it's halfway through the album. No, it's only track 4, but I feel like it's kind of a nice transition too on this album, because most of the album to me is very poppy and like radio friendly, which is interesting because I don't think there were a lot of hits. I don't believe this was a big hit, this record, when it came out. But I find there to be a lot of songs on here to me that could have been radio hits. Travel by Thought is not a radio hit, but it's a really good song to listen to, and it's one I definitely come back to because I find it very interesting. It's one of those songs that rewards the repeat listener, I would say. So Travel by Thought, if it's not a song that comes to mind, I recommend going back to listen to it. It's not like you're going to be sitting there, banging your head thinking this is it. I'm going to remember these lyrics forever, or remember this, riff forever. It's not that necessarily. It's just that it's so interesting and different, especially on this album. Anyway, that ends side 1 of the vinyl. Side 2, you got Disappear, which is good. Electric Lash. I think that's the song in particular that people, complain about, or maybe Steve was the one complaining about it, or somebody else in the band was complaining that the drums sound like machine guns in the song Electric Lash. But Electric Lash, like, how is that not a worldwide #1 smash? I don't understand. It's a fucking absolute banger of a song. It's so good. I listened to it today twice, but I probably have listened to it because this year, I've been listening to Nonstop Church and Steve Kilbey. I probably listened to another Electric Lash 20 times already this year. Maybe that's not that many times, but I love it. Electric Lash, so good. Now I Wonder Why is good. Dropping Names I really like, actually. Kind of a sleeper hit on this album for me, Dropping Names, and It Doesn't Change, which is also really good. So on the special edition CD, there's a couple extra songs, I believe, or there's one extra song, Autumn Soon, which I really like. It's really good. I do want to read a lyric from this album, just so you have that. Because I always really liked this. So it says, "We'll walk and be like giants. We'll all be honest men. I go back to my blindness so that I may see again. A woman standing on a hill is gazing out to sea, dreaming of a new age waiting there for me. I call her from a distance, and she smiles into the sun. And men and gods begin their dance, for the time has begun. And holy wars extended, and battlefields of pain are washed away, forgotten in the perfect rain. Princes, kings, and humble things are well worn and content. Messengers came everywhere. Envoys have been sent. Na 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 na. A palm tree nodded at me last night. He said, "Hey, you look so pale." Really like those lyrics. It's a great song. Like I said, one day, that's during the breakdown at the end of that song, and that last bit, "A palm tree nodded at me last night, hey, you look pale," is a throwback to Bel Air from that last album we covered, which is great. So, last thing, because I have this, and this is how I know. It's No Reason was a single, Someone Special, and Autumn Soon on here. This is from France, if I remember right. This was a gift, a very nice gift of a friend, and there you go. So it's very good. It's worth checking out. I recommend it, and we're going to be back before you know it, so buckle up.